Today we're dusting off the 1000cc snowmobile that raced in X Games. It was an animal, fully customized engine, it was a prototype suspension, one of 2 of these snowmobiles in existence. So let's get it down and get it on the snow. This snowmobile is from 2004. It's been over 20 years since I collected some X Games medals on this beast. Out of all the race sleds, this is the only one I've ever kept, and it's actually still running. Can't remember if we repacked the mufflers or the silencers in this thing. It is heinously loud. But also because it's got a ton of compression and it's a full race motor. Since we're taking that down, I thought I'd wear the jacket from the era. Whew, still smells like race gas and strawberries. More projects. This one is gonna be a cool one. This will be it's gonna be something a little different. Let's go get Mr. Bobcat. Make sure you ride a motorcycle every day. Does it actually have gas? Okay, I guess I'll walk. Should have worn my toque. Those are cold. Like freezing cold? Okay. This is hydraulic aerobics for the Bobcat. He likes to do this first thing in the morning to wake up. It's like stretching before a good lift. That sled hung in the rafters for 10 years because the motor was hurt. So about 4 years ago, I started to put it back together and we got it running. It sounds really aggressive. Every time I ride it, I get a little butterflies. That thing, no, I can get around it. It's sketchy, but it works. A little more. Oh, look at that. Carbides. How much fuel? Oh, we got a full tank of fuel, which is only about 2 gallons. No, we're using that for a belt, hey? Well, no wonder it has crazy ground speed. The belt's pretty soft. When these carbides were new, you really could shave with these bad boys. Oh, what's going on here? Is that carbide bent? It looks like it. Isn't that interesting? We'll give her a quick detail. It's good to go. The track in this thing's actually in really nice shape still. Ooh, it was in really nice shape. She's missing a couple of teeth per se. Jackson holes, definitely hard on tracks. What happens at Jackson Hole, we have to run screws in the track because it's so icy going up the hill, and whatever, if you have to come back down, you want to make sure that you have traction.
Oh boy.
You got to think this thing was engineered to hold 130 horsepower on a stock 800 back then, and now it's just over 200. So even the motor mounts are stressed, and there's extra brackets and torque arms that hold the engine into the chassis because it's just trying to rip out. The fuel tanks on these things were super small because you didn't need much fuel in the hill climb or in the hill cross. It was only one run up the hill, so you only needed a couple minutes of fuel. So that's why you could get away with, I don't even think it's 2 gallons. I think it's just over a gallon or a gallon and a half. So it was lightweight. All right. Sounds good. It sounds happy.
Balls for shaking in there.
Well, it doesn't have much of a cooling system, so it's warm. There's a few things you can't replace. No replacement for displacement. That still holds true. You know, 1,000, they don't even make thousands anymore. But it's the throttle response that you can't beat that. It is lightning fast. And throttle response is what makes things fun. It starts, runs, I see in here that both rubber engine torque mounts need adjusting. We'll take it out, we'll let it rip a little bit.
I'm not even holding it wide open. It's still picking up the skis, but it's just spinning so hard. So a couple's pretty fast here, and I can adjust it so a couple's less. There's only this much snow. It's just spinning the whole time. I just want to put a little more weight on the track, and you can adjust it by that. There, so we went from business mode to party mode. Let's throw it on the deck of the truck and go find some more snow.
We can just get a little further here. Can we make it to the top here? Come on, baby.
Before, sleds had reverse. Well, they did have reverse, but the mods sure didn't. All right, let's give this another crack. This thing's hilarious. No matter what, you can not smile when you ride it. It's cold weather. It is ripping. Like, it's normally happy, but it's extra happy. It's in enough snow that it's spinning, so it's getting some traction. And I mean, we're only an 1 3/4 track too, which is pretty small in powder snow, but it's good snow underneath where it froze. So there's actually good traction underneath here. More like 85, 8600.
Sounds good.
RPM, so it's revving a little bit high. Boy, it's jetted right on the money though. Little rich on the mag cylinder, could probably go down 2 sizes. EGT, or exhaust gas temperature, and that's how you can tell how the engine's tuned. And this is before there was real good data logging. This was the original data logging. Now the systems are far more sophisticated than this. The magic of this thing is kind of from like almost standing still to 60 miles an hour. When we used to test it on the radar gun, was like 1.8 to 1.9 seconds, 1.7 seconds from 0 to 60. So it's fast, but it's got to have good traction too. This thing was really at home when it was in the air, you know, and obviously it was fast in between the jumps. You could line up and come up to something and be very close to it and just hit the throttle and whoop, it would just explode over the jump. You know what's really amazing is honestly the throttle response, like the feeling of exhilaration and almost being scared a little bit, because it's like it hits so hard and it just pulls. That's what's exciting. But one wrong move and you'll scatter it everywhere. You know, it's got enough power to be dangerous, that's for sure. But that's what makes it fun.
This photo is actually of that sled 22, 23 years ago in action. So you can see on here in the X Games, they had these really fancy cameras that had a little spinning wheel and it spun to like 10,000 RPM. So it didn't ever get the lens dirty. The bolt holes for that camera are still here, but it's kind of cool that it's still intact and it still works as it should. In fact, it probably runs better now than it's ever ran. But I think we can still make it run better yet. We learned a little bit today on the Avenger. We're looking at some of the numbers on the EGT and some of the RPM, and I think we got some more tuning to do. And we ran it at Jackson for the last 2 years.
We're leaving here in one piece. That's pretty cool that this thing hung in the rafters for 17 years and pretty much dusted it off. Had to do a little bit of maintenance and sent it up the hill. Probably could be a little bit better prepared next year.
So when we bring it back this year, this thing should run like a rocket. Even though this thing is 22 years old, with today's technology, we can definitely sharpen this thing up because perfect is just barely good enough in racing. The bars feel ridiculously tall compared to what we ride now. The handlebars still have the hook, which this was kind of a oval race handlebar. Initially, that's what it was. It was snowcross too, but in snowcross, you could get your hand around and still use the brake, and that was the whole idea, is you could hang around the corner. But the bars even feel wider, but they feel like ape hangers compared to what we're riding now.